What up? Jake One back with another Behind the Beat. This one is for Russ's new song called Sheep. It's off the Chomp 2 project. I did two songs on there. One of them called Hustler Freestyle and the other one called Sheep. Uh, these records with Russ kind of came about more just on some he hit me up on Instagram and I just started sending him beats. Like sometimes it just works that fast and we end up with joints. He might have recorded like four things that I heard, and he put one of them out earlier this year called Rather Be Myself, and then used two of them on this tape. And I was happy he used this beat that I did for Sheep because I thought it was one of the better beats I'd done last year. I just thought it was grooving. It had like organized noise type vibe, which I feel like I'm always trying to do that. It's just some of my most influential shit, like especially like the ATLiens album. Like I probably try to make something that sounds like the mainstream beat, I don't know, 50 times over the years, and I'm never gonna quite do it. But shout out to them guys. They totally inspired me with this one for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and break it down. The interesting thing with this is this started off a loop I actually made, that I wasn't really intending on making a beat with. So this is like a rare one to actually use my own loop. And Dan there played everything on it, so that's always cool. It always feels like you should get a bonus or something when you do that as a hip hop producer, and it turns out tight and not some generic, keyboard beatish sounding shit. So I'm gonna get on the CS50 and get in Pro Tools and show you how I did this. So with this one, I really started off with some chords that I played on the Yamaha CS50. I don't know. I might have came up with this on the piano at some point and just forgot to lay it down. And that day it just came in my head. But something to the vein of these two chords. I had the VCO, VCF filters, kind of making it warble a little bit. It had some speed in there with the LFO that kind of gives it that spacey sound. So the first track I did, I also had the filter way low, so it's more like a pad kind of thing. So started with something like this. So I tracked that out. Then I kind of opened up the sound a little bit and made the filter a little less on top of it, so you could kind of hear it more. And I just played those same chords. Next thing I came up was the bass line. It's pretty much following the chords, nothing too tricky. So I just lowered the octave on the similar sound and adjusted it a little bit. The CS50 does not have mono capabilities, so it's a little different playing a bass line on it, but it worked for what I was trying to do. You kind of get the idea. Nothing too crazy, just kind of West Coastish, I guess, fitting into that. So the next thing I went on to with this, I had everything in Pro Tools. Thought the bass needed something a little different to not just make it like a standard keyboard bass. So I went in Melodyne and I sampled this one guitar and bass note. That one, right? This is the wrong one. Shit. There we go. So yeah, this note, it's a bass and guitar note, just like a single shot I had. And then in Melodyne, you can go in there and copy the note and move it around, and basically have it double like other notes you want. Or you can make it do whatever you want, but for the purposes of this, I doubled that keyboard bass in certain parts. So you can see I put it, following the keyboard bass. And what's dope about this is you can take it and make it move up and down the scale and it stays in the same speed. And it doesn't sound like it's funny pitched up and down like it does sometimes when you try to stretch a note. Melodyne's kind of the best at that. So I'll play it back and show you how it sounds with the bass and guitar combo. So. So it sounds a bit different with those two things together. So this is just a keyboard bass. So this bass guitar just gave it a little more tone that I liked. Made it stand out more to me. Also, you can hear in this entire track, the CS50 was making some crazy ass noises that day. There's like a really loud, white noise in there that sounds kind of gross when I listen to it now. I don't think it's in that track as much, but some of these other ones. So you can see how many different layers I did of the different sounds, but you can kind of hear it start ringing out. You can hear it right there, just that white noise. This is shit that happens with these old synths. They don't work properly. So anyways, this is basically the original sample idea I made, intending to just give it to, all the producers I work with that I give ideas to chop up. And eventually what ended up happening was one day, let me find the other session, I think it's called Pluto. One day, my boy Black Milk hit me, and I've been telling him for years, you need to drop your own drum kit. You're fucking up. You're leaving money out there. Get this bread. And he ended up doing it with Splice. So he gives me his drum kit, and he asked me to do like a beat off of it. So, I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I use this loop that I made. And a lot of times I don't really use my own loops because they're just they're old to me by the time I make them. I'm tired of the idea. So I put my loop in here. You can see it right there. Nope. I think that's what I call the beat. Or that's what I call the sample. And I imported these Black Milk drums, right? When I heard that, I heard like Rainy Days, Raekwon. I heard like Outkast, Elevators, and I thought like the sample I made was kind of in that vein too, like definitely like some organized noise type shit. So, but with the drums that I got from Black, they probably had too many kicks for what I was trying to go for with this. It was a little too hip hoppy. So I just kind of ended up put more space in there, copied some hi-hats, chopped them up, and just made it more simple. So you can see all the little chops right there. So we got that, we got my loop. From there, I just started building on. I even played the bass again on the ASR just so it kind of sounds like what I do when I make my beats. Man, this shit is crazy distorted. Now I'll kind of just show you all the layers. So it started with that bass sound. I don't know why it's not playing. Added an 808. And kind of just went in and produced it like I would do all my other tracks that have my like signature things. Like I got put some vocals in there. Put a little guitar thing in there with some delays on it. And a lot of times these are sounds I use in other beats. I just run them back and pitch them to have them make sense with the new idea. The string thing I also threw in there, which is kind of cool. A lot of little flourishes that I put on top of the loop to make it so I could do drops and just make it more interesting. But really, that's kind of the beat, you know. I just like something I did, bounced it out for like a minute, sent it to Russ, and he made a jam off it. So sometimes it works that way. It's that easy. So yeah, there's another behind the beat, Russ, Sheep off the Chomp 2 project. If you want drum kits, samples, I got a bunch of those at snarejordan.com. Thanks for you guys' support. Share, like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Peace.